G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to the Round 6 Q&A. Thank you very much to everyone that's either left a comment or a question on my round review. I'm going to get to all of those now. I will have to get through them pretty quickly because I'm short for time at the moment, but I will do my best to give you a little bit of advice anyway. And remember, don't just take my advice. I may be completely wrong and off the ball. You can't always get it right. But as I said, happy to do my best to try to help anyway. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to get straight into it because, as I said, I am running out of time at the moment. So first comment we've got from Lockie. One of my main men here. Been with me right from the start, Lockie. So hope that you're going well, buddy. Team looks unreal, DR. Thanks, dude. Just got me in the Regulars League this week. I didn't I, mate? I need to get in the Regulars chat as well on Twitter. I have to turn off all my notifications for the group chats because it's bing, bing, bing all day. So I'll definitely have to jump in and have a chat with you legends there. Hayes, unfortunately, lost it for me. Yeah, really unfortunate, mate, with that score on field. Thinking on following your path from last week, go the mega downgrade this week for some big upgrades next week. Keep up the awesome content. Thank you very much, buddy. I think using a boost, particularly this week, even next week, if you got a few up your sleeve, is going to be a really good idea, Lockie. So all the best of luck, my man. Thanks, bud. Next one, Rhys Jennings. G'day, Rhys. Love the content, DR. Thanks, dude. Had an average week, but bought Oliver in and Mills for Hayes and Cherry, bumping my predicted score. Oh, so this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing this week. I was going to say, Oliver and Mills' trading options last week, getting their scores. You must have had a crystal ball there, buddy. But yeah, like those trades, mate. Mills is going to be up to 700k in no time. That Achilles does worry me slightly. But Oliver, I think he's the most obvious premium trading, I think, this week, buddy. Good on you, Rhys. Next one's Richie Tolliday. G'day, mate. How's things, buddy? Love the moves, DR. Thanks, mate. Your team looks magnitudes better after the trades this week. And your long gameplay last week looks to be a good one, given Grundy's unfortunate injury. Yeah, well, it was all the plan after watching Bruce play so well, Rich, on that Friday night, mate. And I thought, look, one of these ruckmen needs to go. And lucky enough, I selected Grundy. So, again, I just said about the crystal ball, didn't I? It's like I had a little one there. Looking to bring in either Clary or Steele or Keys. Need to assess bench cover. Yeah, well, it depends who you got, mate, because there was a bit of carnage with the teams tonight, wasn't there? But look, out of the options, Clary, Steele, Keys, I like Steele is probably the best player, but I think Clary's value at the moment, he's probably the guy that you look to get in, and also love Keys as a pod as well, Rich. So thanks very much, buddy. Hope that you're well, my man. Next one we got Jonas Goat. G'day, Jonas. Bringing in Cripps this week to complete my mids. Yeah, that's great. Now, if you still don't have Cripps, he's at a really attractive price. I've got him as, definitely in my top 8 midfielders from here until the end of the season. Presents great value. So if you haven't got enough money or you have to make some drastic moves to get someone like a Clary in, I'd be more than comfortable with you bringing in Paddy Cripps, just like Jonas is doing there. So he's got McRae, Steele, Miller, Neil, Oliver, Petrarca, Walsh, Cripps. Crikey, mate. You've just completed your midfield, haven't you? Oh, to complete my mids. You said it at the start. Wow, mate. Like, I was bragging about my midfield this week. Wowee. So you've got Walsh and Truck. That's unbelievable, mate. Wow. But it does leave the back line pretty thin, I could imagine. Yeah. Who should I field? D5, D6, O'Driscoll, McCartan, Hinge, Gipkiss, De Conning. And who to trade out of Hinge? McCartan. I'll trade out Hinge, I think, at this stage, mate. I think he's healthy. I think he's fit, but they're just choosing not to play him. Someone actually, I forget who it was in the last video, I kept on mentioning that Hinge was playing VFL. It's Sandful, so thank you to whoever reminded me about that one. So that's who I'd trade. I'd trade Hinge out before McCartan. I just really like McCartan's role. He's guaranteed best 22 every week. Only issue is, are those concussion symptoms going to linger on? We know that's a real issue with him. But if he comes back fit and healthy, I'd definitely rather McCartan, I think. Just because, I think Hinge probably has a better scoring potential, but job security obviously isn't as strong as Paddy's. Now, who do you field out of the other guys? Well, you got Hinge. Well, he's not playing. Gipkiss, De Conning, McCartan, O'Driscoll. So McCartan's not playing, so I'd say that out of Noddy, Gibcus and De Koning. Well, Gibcus punched out 100 last week. You'd probably have to go with him and Noddy for me. I think he's got the best scoring potential. But De Koning outscored Noddy last week. But for me, I would have O'Driscoll 1, Gibcus 2, and then De Koning 3 on field, matey. Cheers, the stock market video is the best SuperCoach content released by anyone, anywhere. I really appreciate that, Jonas. Thanks for the kind words, my man. And all the best of luck for this week, buddy. Thanks, mate. Chris, g'day, mate. You've given me the courage to trade English down to Roses. Well, I think Roses will play this week. He's on the extended bench, but surely, the form he displayed in the 2 weeks that he was in the side warrants him coming straight back in. Going to swing Pendles back and bring in McRae and Hayes to Hayes. Love Hayes to Hayes, probably the most obvious move this week. And bringing in Jack McRae, it's always going to be a good move. We know he was disappointing last week, but he's more than likely to go 140 plus this week against the Bombers. I think it's a really nice matchup, and I've got him as my captain. I didn't actually mention my captains in the round review. I think I'm looking to there's so many options. Steele, I'm bringing him in, but probably Clary into McRae is going to be probably the move that I make. I really love Cripper playing against North as well. We'll see how we go. Good on you, Chris. Thanks, mate. All the best of luck with those trades, man. Niz, g'day, Niz. Hey, mate. I started the season with Connor Rozee in my team. Wowee, there you go, mate. What a pod. Thinking he could have a breakout year, but trade him out for Butters after a couple of poor scores. I could see why you would have done that, mate. And at the time, it was a good move, so don't kick yourself for that. Last 2 weeks, he's massively outscored Butters. What are your thoughts on his potential? Thanks for the content. So, I actually, Niz, rather than me having to give you a huge spiel here, mate, I gave about a 3-minute chat, I think, in the video that I just uploaded, or the one that I would have uploaded just before this one, mate. It's on the 250 to 500k mids. I forgot that slide in my major stock market video, mate. So go and check that one out, mate. Basically, in a nutshell, he's a major, high risk, high reward type player. Big ceiling, but very, very low floor, and will have to rely, I think anyway, on that midfield role. If he gets taken out of the mid, doesn't spend too much time in there, his scoring goes right down. Yeah, could go a little bit south with the pick if that's the case, mate. But yeah, all the best of luck with it, mate. If you've got the money, pay up for a Degoe, one of these types. But if you're really strapped for cash, then he's probably the man that you go for under that 400k mark, bud. Blitzen, g'day Blitzen. How are you, mate? G'day, DR. Oh, hey, DR. I use g'day a lot, don't I? Great video once again. These videos do wonders for the newer players such as myself. I appreciate that, my man. And great to see you involved in the game. It's a ripper of a game, mate. Just wondering what you think should be done with Whitfield. Is near the point where it would be just selling him, downgrading someone cheaper is worth holding on for the time being. Thanks for great content and good luck back at school, mate. I appreciate it, man. It's been a bloody tiring week, I tell you what, mate. But I do really love being a teacher, mate. So in regards to Whitfield, I'll keep it pretty simple. I think at this price, it's just not worth it, mate, because you're not really getting the value. Who are you going to bring in at that price? You're probably going to have to pay up to bring someone in like a Doherty Sinclair type, maybe a Jaden Shoreham if you haven't got him. I've got a little bit of faith in him. He's been named on the wing this week, and if he can be that man to push forward, inside 50s, goal assists, I think that's where he's going to do his most damage. And so I think he's a hold, mate. I think he's definitely a hold for now. And he's going to be probably that player that if we finish our sides and we've still got him and he's still underperforming, we just move him on then. That would be my advice anyway, Blitz. But thanks very much for the kind words, mate. All the best of luck this week, my man. Next one's Ryan OP. G'day, Ryan. Amazing trade week for you, DR. Well done, mate. Really paid off. Thanks, mate. Well, yeah, it sort of didn't it? Because it's so handy having that much money in the bank for this week, and it's a real carnage week, isn't it? So thanks for that, mate. Looks like I'm going to be using a lot of trades this and next week to try to keep up my leagues. Best luck for the round. Thanks, mate. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting because depending on which players you have, there are a lot of players not available. So some people are really going to be hurt, and other people at the same time are going to get a really big leg up, a big advantage because you're not rolling with some of these other guys, mate. Next one, Richie again. G'day, mate. Again, question for the video. At this stage of the year, how dangerous / risky do you think it is to have non-playing rookies on the bench? Roses, for example, may not play. I hope he does. Me too, bud. But your bench could start to look vulnerable the more upgrades that you do. Thoughts? Well, it's pretty much been proven this week, hasn't it? Without like your Cherry, who you weren't expecting. You got Hayes that's just got injured. It's just a week of carnage. So, yeah, look, we really want those rookies that have strong job security. With Roses, all we could really base, look, I needed to go a downgrade. And if I was comparing him to some of the other picks, I thought that he probably had the best scoring potential and had locked in his role for at least the next month, just based off what he produced, mate. But yeah, I think it's really dangerous having too many non-playing players on your bench. And that's a big reason, mate. This is the first year I've actually gone without a loophole. It's a big strategy of mine normally, but that's something that I was worried about this year. And it may actually come to fruition. So yeah, if you're running with too many non-playing players at the moment, well, A, you're getting no cash gen, and B, if you come to some carnage like we're seeing this round, you've got no one to cover. So yeah, try to always make sure that whatever rookies you're bringing in, at least for the short term, they can make some cash and flip them, have pretty decent job security, mate. Thanks for the question, Richard. Appreciate it, man. Harry, great member, Harry. Good on you, buddy. How are you, champ? G'day, DR. Had a shocker this week, bought in track for Real. I was going to do the same thing. I think that was a pretty logical move. Don't beat yourself up about that one, H. Didn't work out as planned. So many rookies need to go this week. Tell us about it, brother. A little bit of carnage. If you can, mate, join us in the Skype chat as well. So send us through your email as well, because you are obviously able to access all of the notes and the PDF file for the stock market video, mate. So send that through to us, H, and we'll get that through to your champion. Hope that you're well, dude. Next one we got Tommy. G'day, Tom. Hey, there's a read more, sorry. Hey, mate, love the vids. Got into the YouTube side of SuperCoach last year, and you've helped me heaps from being a mediocre player, scraping top 30% to someone who's in the top 5% range. Awesome, mate. Thanks very much, man. Look, I'm sure that's not my work, mate. You're making your own decisions here, but I'm glad that I can maybe provide some assistance in some small way, Tommy. So thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. Got a question with the Grundy trade. We'll be using a boost to move Grundy and 2 rookies for Sam Hayes. Missed the boat on Bruce, I reckon. Well, look, it's an interesting one. Depending on what your ruck line is looking like, I actually don't think that you've missed the boat. He's got a lot of money to make. The issue is now he's at an awkward price to bring in. You're paying 300, K to bring a bloke in. But I probably think he gets to 5 if he stays on the park. So there's a guaranteed 100 to 150 there. Anything above that, maybe pushing a little bit, but based off his current form, if he continues to average like he is, he will get there. So yeah, team dependent, I think, mate. And 2 primos, but need help on what combos to go for. Okay, so the value of the primo combos depends on which rookies I trade out. Dacos, Horn, Francis, Hayes, Shelley, and Zeri. So you can probably go the higher combo because you're probably trading out Cherry now, mate. Did I just say Zeri? I can't believe I said that. Cherry, because he's the one that's injured. I think all the other blokes... Oh, and Hayes. So it's probably going to be Cherry and Hayes and one of... Yeah, okay. Is it better to trade out Hayes and Horn Francis to only get a combo like Parker and Ryan? Or Horn Francis and Dacos, Sicily and Brayshaw? Okay, so I like the Sicily and Brayshaw. If you could with DPP, I'd be going Hayes and probably Cherry at this stage, mate, because Cherry's out for a month. At least the other blokes are playing. I suppose if you've got some really strong bench cover and you can afford to hold on to Cherry, that's okay, because his price won't move and he's got actually up to 50k to make, I think. The other blokes here are most likely to go down in price, or you could keep maybe a Hayes. It depends on how strong your bench cover is, but I'd be more inclined to get rid of the blokes that aren't actually playing. Hayes has a long-term injury, Cherry out for a month. That'd be the 2 blokes that I'd go for. And if you can afford Sicily and Brayshaw with those 2, that's the one I'd go for. Tom, all the best of luck, buddy. Next one we got Connor. G'day, Connor. How are you, champion? Read more. Oh, it's a big one. Great moves this week, DR. Thanks, bud. I actually thought all week you were planning to trade out Wits to get Bruce instead of Grundy. I wasn't sure. Pretty glad to see he went that way, as I'm a big advocate for Wits. He's killing it, mate. And I tell you what, how good is this? Coming up against a Grundyless Collingwood and Brody Mychek has been named in the ruck this week on the team sheets. I'm not sure if you'll start there, but could you imagine the domination if that was to occur? And it's got to occur sometime during the game, doesn't it? Because Witts basically takes on the whole load himself. Wanted to get your thoughts on a similar conundrum this week. I'm now rolling with the Gawn-Witts-Preuss combo. Drop Dixon forward, pardon my steel trade this. Love to bring Oliver this week. Yep, without having to move two mid-rookies alongside Hayes. Greg Clark is the only one. Yep, I don't mind probably going... If you're ever going to go early on someone, I think Clark is probably one that you'd go for. And I'll be waiting to see if he's even selectable. Yes, he is. So we know that. You obviously didn't know that at this stage, mate. Hate to do it, but the cash gen from Hayes and playing Prustar 2, worth trading Gawn or Witts out. Both Horn, France, Rochelle on my mid-bench, so could go Clark. And let's say, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but I know the bloke you're talking about, mate. For some rookies who may play in coming weeks. It does seem awfully risky, man. Yeah, do you know what? With the carnage that we've got at the moment, I wouldn't be looking to bring in blokes that aren't playing, mate. I don't think that's going to be viable at the moment. I know Erasmus apparently played pretty well until he copped his concussion. So he's obviously definitely out for a week. Gould, even if he plays, I think it's going to be tough for him to keep his spot. We know McCartan's out. Someone else is out from memory as well. That's, if he even plays. I would advise against that, buddy. I would advise against that. This is the Erasmus, Gould, the blokes that you think may play. But we know that Greg Clark has been named this week, and I think he keeps his spot. I really, really rate him as a rookie, as a mature age rookie. So Clark I like, the other two I don't, buddy. Would you trade out Gawn or Witts? The trouble is, I definitely see a world where, well, Gawn's, I think, obviously going to be our number one. I think Witts could be the number two ruck. Discounting English, who does have that potential. Darcy if he comes back, but it's a big risk relying on him. I actually really like that combo as a finishing combo. I'm hoping to actually finish with Gawn and Witts in my side. Already got Witts. We'll be looking to bring in Gawn. So I don't like trading him out at this stage, mate. Witts, I think, could go absolutely nuts this week against Collingwood. And Gawn's coming up against Hawthorn. Wow, I don't even know what's on the cards. A big score's on the cards. So I think that combo this week that you've got there will be really strong on field. So I'll be loath to trade them out, Connor. But all the best, buddy, with the decision. It's a tough one, man. Dylan Twaddle. G'day, Dill. How's things, my mate? Midfield is insane, DR. Well, not as good as... Who was it before it completed theirs? But it's looking pretty nice, mate. I'm pretty happy with it at the moment. Very risky move trading out Gaundy. Looks to have paid off. For now, I think, mate. For now. Looking forward to the stocky. Good luck next week. Cheers to that, buddy. And hope you enjoyed the stocky as well, mate. And apologies for forgetting to put that extra slide on. I have obviously uploaded the video with those two slides on it, bud. Next one's Jack Murray. G'day, Jack. Currently top 2K thanks to starting the season with Mills. Wondering which one out of Caldwell and Berry should I trade up to get Cripps. Around the same price, but Caldwell averaging a little bit more. Not confident in his role. Yeah, well, it's funny. You're probably getting Caldwell. Well, is he more durable or not than Berry? I don't know. That shoulder just seems like it's going to go any time at the moment with Bez. Oh, I'd almost flip a coin, mate. I'd almost flip a coin. Look, Berry is named in the centre this week. If you trust Berry's body, I'd keep on to Berry, mate. But, yeah, the shoulder's looking a little bit dodge. But all the best luck with it, Jacko. Kyle 20. G'day, Kyle. Hey, dear. Thoughts on Rosie finally getting CBA's last two rounds, showing his scoring potential, or is Parker the better option for 75k more? Look, I think Parker's a better option, mate. He's much safer. In the video that I just uploaded, I did talk about both of these blokes. And the difference between someone like a Rosie and a Parker is a Rosie is one of those real breakout type options, whereas Parker has done it for about 8 years, going around the 100 plus mark for an average. So, personally, I think Parker's safer and has a scoring history. I'd be paying up the 75k if you've got it, mate. Next one we got Naturebird. G'day, mate. Really jealous of your trades, dear. Nice and short and simple. Thanks, mate. I hope that you can do something pretty special yourself this week, mate. I hope I don't have to alter anything. Probably the main thing I'm doing, I'm not altering the premiums I'm bringing in, but probably Cherry goes out in front of Horn Francis for me now, mate. But thanks, that buddy. I appreciate it, man. I'll not appreciate that you're jealous, but yeah, obviously you're saying they're pretty nice trades, so thanks, buddy. Nicky Nugent. Now, Nick, thanks very much for signing up as a member, buddy. I really, really appreciate that, champion. So if you can, mate, I don't know if you've got a Twitter account. I'm never on Instagram. But if you have got Instagram, send it through. I'll make sure that I do check it out after I upload the video, mate. Send it through your email so I can get you through all those stocking notes, mate. Thank you very much for supporting Beyond Blue. For anyone that doesn't know, if you want to become a member of the channel, lots of different perks, and it's $1 a week or $4 a month, and every cent is donated to Beyond Blue. It's a cause that's very close to my heart anyway. So good on you, Nico. I appreciate that, my man. Hey there, new to the channel this year. Oh, welcome, mate, and first time doing SuperCoach and love your work. Cheers, man. I traded out Wits last week for Bruce, with Grundy as my other ruck. Wish it had been the other way around, man. Just really bad luck. Now I'm unsure to go back to Wits. You started with him, or if I go the route, I'd be going Grundy, Jack Hayes, Lipinski out to Wits, Oliver, Hayes. Or I could go Grundy to Sam Hayes. Hayes for R2 for the time being. And upgrade a rookie defender to Sicily, then move Dacos to D6. Horn Francis Hayes out next week to go. I like that, mate. So, yeah, I like that because if you can get one of those defensive midfielders off, I think that's good because I do rate Sam Hayes' scoring potential on field. So I'd rather have Hayes on field than basically any defensive rookie at this stage, I think, buddy. So, yeah, I like the second move there, mate. Just my opinion. And I like the Sicilian as well, bud. So, good on you, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Again, welcome to the channel. Welcome to SuperCoach. And you'll just improve, mate, year upon year. So, good on you, Nick. And a big welcome again, mate. Our next one is from Harrison. G'day, mate. Hey, DR. We're just wondering what your thoughts are on the Witherden selection. I think if he can keep his scoring up, his D1 lock and is still under 600k, or is there any red flags I should be worried of? Cheers. Look, he doesn't come without risk, mate. He certainly doesn't come without risk. He's always shown that he's got a ceiling, but it's consistency to be able to score well throughout a whole year. You know, part of that's been the fact that he's been in and out of sides, slight injury issues, but not like a really big durability risk for mine. Look, I think Hearn's getting phased out. I have talked a fair bit about him in detail in the stock market video, mate, but at this stage, after producing 400 pluses in a row, I think that I'm a believer. So he's a great pod. He still actually does present some value with his low break even. From memory, it's about 53. So I don't mind it, mate. If you want to get Witho in, absolutely go for it. Good on you, H. Jack Murray, g'day, Jack. Is it too risky to have 8 premium mids with Steele, McRae, Neal, Mills, Toot, Clary, Track, and Cripps by the end of next week with only 20 trades left heading into the buys? Well, look, I absolutely love the midfield, mate. I suppose I need a little bit more info about what the rest of your side's looking like. So maybe if you can drop another comment in my latest video, it'll be this one actually. Drop a comment in this one with the rest of your side and I'll be able to help you out a little bit more, mate. But 20 trades heading into the buys, you've already completed your midfield. That's where all the big dogs are. I don't think you should be in a terrible position, but I would need to look at the rest of your stuff, mate. Next one, Daryl Hall. G'day, Daryl. Love having a chat with Daryl. Hey, dear. Looking forward to the stocky. Hopefully you've seen it by now, buddy. Really hoping to get your thoughts on the Grundy replacements. Yep, well, I did go through them in stocky, mate. There are so many different situations people are in. Personally, I skip Bruce. I remember our conversation, mate. We had a pretty deep conversation with David, didn't we, on Twitter. My options as I see them are Rob, Witts, and Bruce already have gone, but each has for and against issues. Need to get Hayes and really want Clary. Most likely on Bruce to get Clary this week, which means I miss Roses after going Hobbs last week when he was laid out, and overpaying for Bruce, which I hate doing. It is very, very frustrating, mate. But I'll tell you what, Bruce, this might be a bit outlandish, but I've got a fair bit of faith in Prusy. I think that he can make potentially as much money from now if you buy him this week compared to your average type rookie such as your Hobbs, such as your Perez types. I'm a big believer in that. So I think that Bruce is going to give you some really good on-field points. He's done it with Flynn last week, so he's shown with the two ruckmen set up that he can still score well. He's shown without it, the two rucks set up as a solo, he can score well. So I do like Bruce as a trade-in still, mate. If you can get Clary as well, 2 thumbs up from me, Daz. It is very, very frustrating, mate. I completely understand that. And in your position, I'd be really frustrated too. But I think you probably just got to bite the bullet. You'd much rather get him than completely miss out on all that cash gen, mate. So just my advice, Daz. All the best luck for this week, buddy. I love this name, Kepsy Max. How are you, mate? Really want to bring Clary in. He'd be my 7th primo with Brody at 8. Pretty strong by the sounds of it. My defence is weak with Hewitt, Short, Whitfield, and the rest being rookie coverage. Which defender do I bring in or Clary? Look, to be completely honest, mate, if you've only got Hewitt, Short, and Whitfield, you got to go someone in defence. You've got to do it. It's hard to miss out on Clary, but you're going all right in your midfield at the moment. You're going all right, I think. If you want Clary, you'll most likely have to pay up for him a little bit more, or at least wait until probably after the buys. Hopefully goes down a little bit or throws in a stinker for you. But definitely with someone like Whitfield at D3, you've got to get someone into your midfield, mate. Which defender do you bring in? You got Short, Hewitt, Whitfield. If you're going to go really big, you've got your Docs, your Stewart, those types, even a Witho, if you want to go a real pod. Or else Sicily, I think, is a pretty safe option. Highly owned player. And you don't have to pay up for him like you do with a Stewart type pick, for example, mate. Next one's Aiden King. G'day, mate. Hey, DR, do you reckon I go Steele, Mills, or Clary? Or should I hold off on all of them, not be forced onto using my 3rd boost? I think it's fine to use a boost, mate. I would be going Clary this week. Clearly, I think the best buy out of the premium midfielders, buddy. But I'll probably like Steele as a better player. But value-wise, I think we go Clary. Next one's from Jamie Camilleri, I think it is. G'day, Jamie. Thanks for all the analysis work each week that you complete. No worries, mate. Appreciate the kind words, man. Glad you're enjoying. I've got the big 6, McRae, Steele, Niliver. God, yes, Niliver. Neil Oliver, Cripps and Petrarca. Cool, man. Projecting 520k free next week. Who should be my next midfield target? I like it, mate. So, McRae, Steele. I'd be targeting Took, mate. He's going to be at a really, really attractive price. You want to see something from him first, don't get me wrong. If he goes 120 this week, bring the man in. I think he is the one to bring in, buddy. Time. How are you, bud? Great video, dear. Amazing strategy. This is why you're the best in the business. I think you are being very, very kind there, my friend. But thanks very much, mate. Look, strategy is such a huge part of the game. And the strategy is the best part of it for me. And it's what can set you apart from other people by making some different moves and going away from the crowd. I'm normally pretty safe, but every now and then you've just got to make a big move. And will it pay off long term? I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty happy I did it at this stage anyway, Time. Your team's looking very scary now. Thanks, man. Who will be your next trade target now? Look, it depends on what line I want to go. So I still think Track next week as a midfield option will present some pretty good value. Down back, I really like Jack Sinclair as a pod. Up forward, my next one, it's tough because I'd love to get onto Luke Parker, but I don't know if it's going to sort of align with my buy strategy. So he'd probably be the one I'd be interested in, mate. I was all over English, really want to bring him in, but you can't now. So I suppose a lot of it will dictate who's available at an attractive price. If I've got a really nice fallen premium, I'll just probably jump onto them, mate. But they're probably, one sort of target on each line that I think I'd be looking at, mate. Realistic targets anyway, with the cash that I may have available, buddy. Next one is from Daryl again. G'day, Daryl. Well, dear, awesome trade's going to leave me in the weeds for the rest of the season. You will come back, mate. You will come back. My round 6 review Hope everyone had a good round. Thanks, mate. Finding Primo scored 21-14, ranked 60,645. You'll come back, mate. I guarantee you'll come back. Overall, 5752. Oh, sorry, that's just your round rank. Oh, cool, mate. I knew it. So 14,996. I'll tell you what, mate. There are so many good coaches that are sitting outside or around the top 15k. Nothing wrong with that rank at the moment, buddy. So many good coaches are having a tough year. So there's nothing wrong with that at the moment. I reckon you're going to push into that top 1%, bud. All the best luck, and thanks for that, Daz. Guzzies. G'day, Guzzies. Hey, dear, I just traded in Clary and Hayes, and I've got 170k in the bank. Love those two trades. Should I boost and upgrade Whitfield, or just hold off for this week? Look, I think it's okay to use a boost, but I wouldn't be using it on Whitfield, mate. Look, if he's a big thorn in your side and he's really the only problem that you got, I suppose that you could. But I've said it already, I'm an advocate for holding Whitfield at this stage, mate, and hopefully seeing if he comes good. Jono, g'day, legend. And you can see there, Jono's now got the Matty Rao symbol. He has been a member for 1 month now. So your little icons upgrade, as you've been a member for a particular period of time. So start with the Nick Dacos, the real young gun, onto the next sort of generation, Matty Rao, and then we'll see what the next icon's going to be. Thanks for your support, Jono. And hopefully we can chat up on Skype this week, dude. Grundy to Sam Hayes, love it. Cherry to Parker. You did this 2 days ago. You got a crystal ball. Some of us do from time to time, don't we, Jono? Cherry to Parker, love it. And Hinge to Oliver. Wow, so Grundy, Cherry, Hinge. 3 blokes that are not playing. 2 that are injured. 1 with a long-term injury. You got to trade out. Cherry probably got to trade out. Into Hayes, that is an absolute must-have rookie. Parker, who I think is the best forward option this week. And Oliver, who is clearly the best mid option. You couldn't go wrong with that, I think, Jono. Absolutely perfect trades, my man. This is a structure with only needing 3 defenders, 1 mid, 2 rucks and 2 forwards. Going well, mate. Keep you up the awesome content coming to you. Thanks, mate. Can't wait to catch up with you and all the members again sometime soon. So we're going to look, mate, tomorrow night, just after 6. So I'll chuck that in the members section as well. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about by the members section, those that are, donating the $3.99 a month to be on Blue, getting a few perks. And we do have a members Skype chat where, we give each other advice, talk about our teams, and I try to give some more one-on-one team advice and that sort of stuff. And great bunch of blokes that we got in there as well. We'll love to have some ladies in there as well. That'd be fantastic also. Next one we've got is from Ollie Evo 0505. G'day, dear. G'day, Ollie. Hope that you are, my man. I got rid of Jack Hayes a while ago, and I'm now wondering whether I need Sam Hayes. Do I get rid of Dixon for him? Thanks, mate. Love your work. Look, I'd probably try to hold Dixon if you can, buddy, because he's got a lot. When I say a lot, he's certainly got more cash to make. I think Jack Hayes is definitely a must-have. I'd try to move someone else out instead of Dixon. But if Dixon is your only option, yes, I would. I think he's that much of a must-have, Jack Hayes. Oh, sorry, got rid of Jack Hayes. Oh, Sam Hayes. Sorry, yeah. He's that much of a must-have, Sam Hayes, that you do get Dixon out for him if he's the only one that you've got to get rid of, mate. So it's tough. I'd like to keep on to Hugh, but you've got to get Sam in, mate. Next one is from Jordan Di Natale. G'day, George. How are you, my man? Hey, dear. Great video as always. Appreciate that, man. Doing really good at the moment. I'm only 100 or so behind you. Oh, the race is on. Jordan, the race is on. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. I had a quick question. What are your thoughts on Nick Vlaston? Is it Vostone? Vostone, I think it is, isn't it? Full 60k in defence, 98, 155 in the last 2 games. Projected price rise of around 50k. Looks different in game, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this? Is he worth it for cash gen? Around 1. Hopefully you've watched the Stocky by now, mate. I did go into a little bit of detail about him. He doesn't fill me with great confidence. He's one of those real risk versus reward type picks. He's given us a few really big scores from time to time, but generally hasn't been able to back it up. But I do like his role this year. He's a real tough, uncompromising type player, real leader. Durability is also a bit of an issue. So for me, the red flags are probably durability and a lack of premium scoring history for mine, because he's been in the system for about 10 years, I think, and I've said all this in my stocky, so I'm probably just repeating this, Jordan. I'm not too sure now, mate, but been in the system for around 10 years, best average is around 90, so probably not for me, mate. A little bit too risky. I'd just be going up just that little bit, champ. Where are we? Leo Hart. G'day, Leo. Hey, DR, for the stock market, could you please highlight players already spoken about so it's easy to see your thoughts on particular players? Thanks. Could you please highlight players already spoken about? So I'm assuming you mean like on the screen. I'll see if I can do that, man. I've never tried. If I can do it, I will. Not a problem, my man. Stephen McStevens, love it. How are you, Stevo? Ripper move by you, moving on Grundy DR. Thanks, mate. Trading out Cherry again. Well, this is 2 minutes ago. Oh, cool, Steve. So obviously we've got the news coming through that Cherry's out. Grundy and Hayes this week. Yeah, well, I'm doing Cherry and Hayes. Grundy I got rid of last week, mate. So basically doing the same thing. For Hayes, Clary, and maybe Luke Parker, I love those 3 trade-ins, mate. Just wondering if you think I'm overloading on the second buy with Tuke, McRae, Dunkley, Heaney, and potentially Parker. Have around, okay, so 10 plays in the first buy. That's overdoing it a little bit, mate. That is doing a little bit. Where are they? So you got Tuke, McRae in the mids, Dunkley, Heaney in the forwards. It depends. So if you say you've got 10 players in the first buy, are you including rookies? Because you may be even upgrading a couple of these rookies in the next few weeks, mate. So send us through your team on this round review, mate. I'll be able to give you some better advice there, I think, buddy. Thanks for that, Steve. Sebastian Turnbull. Hey, Seb, what would you do with Durden? Trade or just hold, see if you can gain some more cash? You've probably got other people that you need to get rid of, I'm assuming, mate. Look, that break even, it's definitely in the red. So the data suggests that, yes, you get rid of him. However, he is coming up against the Roos this week. We've seen a couple of 70s from him already. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit that break even. I think it's okay to hold, and I also think it's okay to trade there, Seb. Thug Life. G'day, Thug Life. How are you, mate? G'day, mate. Love your content as per usual. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Thinking of going Grundy down to Hayes. Excellent. Yep. Have Witts and Bruce already. Love it, mate. Then Horn Francis to Oliver. Hayes to Heaney. Love it, mate. Yep. Absolutely lock those in, buddy. I'm not sure if your plans have now changed with the carnage that's come through with the team sheets, because this was 3 days ago. But if nothing else has sort of changed since you've made this comment, then absolutely lock them in. I love those trades, mate. Next one's from Jarrah Wallace Gravett. How are you, Jarrah? Hey, mate, what are your thoughts on Houston? Tossing up between him to go with Sicily. However, for Sicily would have to trade Rhys Jennings instead of a worse rookie to get more dollars. So let's just say if it's out of Houston and DeGoey, if you have to do a few different things for Sicily, Sicily would be probably the best option in my opinion, mate. But if you have to move mountains to get him in, I wouldn't say that he's that much of a must-have. But if you're looking at DeGoey in Houston, I'm going to be biased, mate, because Houston is a real burn man for mine. Consistency has always been an issue. I think it's because he's a real flexible type player, can play multiple roles, multiple positions, and I'm talking from back midfield to forward. At the moment, he's been playing, I think, that halfback sort of wing role. But I like DeGoey better, mate. I just don't... It's funny that I actually trust DeGoey a little bit more than someone. What I'm always worried about when I'm giving advice about Houston, mate, is the fact that I do have a real bias against him. So I do try to always take that away when I'm trying to give out advice. But for me, if I was to rank these guys in order, I would like to have DeGoey, yeah, Sicily, DeGoey, and then Houston in that order for me, mate. Next one is Harry Fraser. I don't know how many comments I don't know how long I've been going for. So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, at this stage. I don't even know what the time is. So apologies if it has been going for too long. Harry Fraser, g'day H. Hi DR, good selection of trades this week from you. My rec setup is Gawn, Grundy and Bruce. I'm keen to get in Sam Hayes, but should I trade out Grundy or hold with his... Oh, so obviously he's gone now, mate. Absolutely trade out Grundy, mate. Rhino Hutton, g'day mate. Grundy out last week is now a masterstroke DR. Well, it's worked out to be like that, hasn't it, Rhino? Obviously had no idea that he was going to be injured, but it worked out pretty well, mate. I ended up on 22.90, if you don't mind. Very nice, mate. But was saved by bringing in Mills last week. What a trade-in, and what a week to do it, mate. I don't know if we'll see a score as high as that this year. So, the ultimate trade-in, Rhino. Well done, my man. I would love to bring in Clary, but I feel I'm light in the back, so I'll bring someone there. I really love the way you're thinking about that, mate, because you're smart enough to know where your areas of need are. It's so easy to look at Clary and just lock him into midfield. But if you feel like you've got other lines that are lacking, then it's ultra important to try to fix up a few of those holes. There's still a chance to bring in Clary. But if the time's not right for you, you need to do other things, then absolutely do that. Love your thinking there, mate. Love your discipline, Ryan. Startled Pigeons become a member. Oh, mate, thank you very much. As I said, one of my favourite YouTube usernames, mate. Thanks very much, my man. I appreciate that. Dude, do us a favour. I don't know if you got my... I don't know if you have Twitter or Insta. You can obviously access the member videos now as well, mate. So please send me a message on any one of those platforms with your email so I can send you through all the stocky notes and all that sort of stuff, mate. Get you involved in our Skype member chat as well. It's a video chat, and yeah, it's really good times, mate. So thanks very much, my man. I appreciate that. Cherry out for a month, devastating, my bloke. Cash him in, risk losing value. Yeah, so basically the question is, do we trade him out now when we know he's out for 4 weeks, that he's going to hold his price and then hopefully make more money? Or do we hold on to Horn Francis, who is actually playing for us, but most likely to lose money? I'd be more on the boat. Well, it's team dependent, mate. I'm pretty worried that we're going to have more injuries, more rookies that get dropped, and our bench is going to be really, really bare. So for me, I'm prioritising at this stage keeping a bloke that's going to be playing over a bloke that we know is going to be out for a month. That's just me personally, mate. If you've got really, really strong bench coverage, you could go the other way. Look at it from a monetary point of view. But I think from a security point of view, to play it safe, I trade out Cherry, mate. And look, Horn Francis has gone a couple of 90s already. There is actually a chance that he hits that break even. We're all assuming that he doesn't, and I think that's the most likely outcome, don't get me wrong. But there's certainly a chance. There's certainly a chance he does hit it, mate. All the best luck, buddy, for this week, my man. And hopefully we can see you in the Skype chat, mate. Footy Galore 09, how are you, buddy? Hey DR, my favourite SuperCoach YouTuber. You're an absolute goat, man. Keep up the content. You are very, very kind there, mate. And thank you very much, buddy. Look, all these kind words, I'm almost blushing here, but it really does mean a lot and does really give me the motivation to try to really put into the channel and keep the content pumping. So thanks that, man. And very entertaining. Thank you, bloke. Should I trade out Hayes? Definitely, mate. If you're talking about Jack Hayes, 100%. Bring in West Coast debutant from round Stranica, whatever his name is, who had more marks in his debut game than Nick Nat in the last 3 games. Interesting stat, mate. Love your research here. 102k, got a bit of cash there. I trade out Nick Dacos as I can make a bigger move and get a bigger midfield with higher scoring name of Cripps. Does have injury chance. He'd come back from an injury in one Thor. What do you think, Dale? Have a good day. Thanks, mate. You too. Look, mate, I think it's a bit risky. You bring in a bloke that's only played the 1 game. Has he played 1? Or not played? Is he debuting? No, well, you said... No, he must have debuted, yeah. He's not on the bubble yet, so I would avoid that if possible. I like Dacos. I like him. I like keeping him up until the buys, mate. So, look... if you haven't already got Sam Hayes, definitely get Sam Hayes into your side. Should I trade out Jack Hayes? Absolutely. So the trade I'd be looking to make is out Jack Hayes in Sam. I'd looking to be keeping on to Dacos, and I'm not a fan of going early on Luke, mate. But just my thoughts. If you want, feel free to send me through your team, mate, and I'll hopefully be able to give you a little bit more advice, mate, that's team relevant to you. But thanks for the kind words, man, and I'm really glad you're enjoying the content, buddy. Here we go. One of my favourite members again. Loved having a chat with this bloke, Rickaby G. Richard, how are you, buddy? FYI, Hinge played in the sand. Oh, thanks, mate, because at the time when I was doing this, I wasn't sure if you did or not. So let's see the stats here. 15, 11 and 4, 57 ranking points. Not sure how that equates to SuperCoach. It's really hard to tell, mate, because we see with Lachie Whitfield, it's just completely off balance. If memory serves, he wasn't named as an emergency for the AFL squad. Crows flying, so to speak. Love the pun. Hard to see him pushing for a spot. Well, mate, you're onto it because not named this week on the emergencies could be a sub potential. I must admit to salivating slightly looking at midfield. It's looking okay at the moment, isn't it, mate? But other blokes are completing theirs at this stage, which I find amazing. Shocked that people have been able to do that. I feel inspired to try to emulate your cunning plans. Well, mate, if you think it's going to work, absolutely go for it, mate. And that's why the discussion's so great. That's why the Skype calls are so great, because we all bounce off each other, mate. Look, I'm certainly will never, ever claim to have all the answers or be some sort of an expert. I am no expert. I don't have all the answers. But I think talking with other blokes and ladies about it, it makes you think differently sometimes. I remember when I had Janeth onto the channel, he made me think about strategies that I hadn't really contemplated before, and I've been playing the game for 15 odd years, however long it's been running for. So yeah, absolutely fantastic having those discussions, mate. By the way, I loved your heartfelt sympathy for Paddy Mack and Jack Hayes. Truly devastating. Thanks, mate. It really was heartfelt, mate. Not from a SuperCoach point of view, but you feel for these blokes, don't you? Because it's their careers, it's their lives, a big part of their lives anyway. You just want to see these blokes succeed, don't you, mate? But thanks very much, Rich. All the best, and hopefully we'll catch up tomorrow night, bud. AFL Gaming 1. Hey, dude. Hey, dear, quick question. Do you reckon Steele or Oliver is more of a priority to get into the midfield this week? This week, it's got to be Oliver, mate. Really low break-even. What he can produce will be the cheapest that you'll be able to get him for a long time, I think. Thanks for the question, dude. Guzzy again. How are you, mate? Hey, dear, with the recent news of Grundy, just want to get your thoughts on something. Grundy, Bruce, Hayes right now. Can trade Grundy down to Sam Hayes, hold Jack Hayes, and then 2 primo mid upgrades. I can just trade Grundy down to Witt, Jack Hayes to Sam Hayes, and then 1 mid primo. What should I do? So Grundy down to Sam Hayes. Hold. I don't like holding Jack Hayes, mate, so I would get rid of Jack Hayes personally, buddy. Scuffed Aussie, G'day, mate. Without any other context, who would you trade out of Cherry, Horn, Francis, and O'Driscoll? Well, I suppose we've got context now, mate. It's got to be Cherry. It definitely wouldn't be O'Driscoll. I would absolutely scrap him straight away. We definitely keep on to him. Before the injury news, it would 100% be Horn Francis. So I know you're asking without any other context. Look, if there was no context, it'd be Horn Francis. But given the fact that we do have context now, Cherry is out. You've got to get rid of him, I think, mate. D6J, how are you, buddy? Just want to say great fit. Thanks very much, mate. And also, Grundy is now out. 12 weeks estimated. Shattering for owners, isn't it, DJ? Thanks for the comment, mate. I appreciate it, buddy. Causa Blackledge, another member. We can see the Matty Rouse symbol here. That means that you've been signed up right from the start. Thanks very much, Causa. I appreciate that, mate. Looking forward to having a chat tomorrow night, man. Hey, DR, Keys, 453k or under forward, and Hayes in for Grundy, Hayes and Cherry, or Treloar, Cripps and Hayes for Cherry, Grundy and Hayes. I don't like Treloar, mate. Yeah, I don't like Treloar. We'll have a good chat about this one tomorrow night, mate. But, yeah, Hayes in for Grundy I like. Cherry's got to go. We'll get your team up, mate, tomorrow night. We'll have a chat about it. Also, when's there going to be another Swordplay podcast video with Spills, mate? Our timelines at the moment and our schedules just are not meeting up, mate. We have been absolutely keen as mustard to get together and do another one. We're hoping within the next couple of weeks, mate. We're definitely going to bring it back. Things have just been a little bit crazy, mate. But I appreciate the fact that you're looking forward to it, mate, because I love getting together with Spills and having it just a bit of banter, a bit of good fun with that, mate. So it will be coming back, mate. Thanks, dude. Excuse me. I might actually do some sort of a different podcast. Maybe invite a few blokes on during the next week or two, mate. That's a good idea, Causer. Mate, if you want to come on, mate, love to have you on, Cause. Great having a chat with you on Skype, dude. Next one is Big Baller Brado. Hey, how you going, mate? Very well, bud. Hope that you're going awesome as well, dude. Thinking on Horn Francis Hayes Rochelle to Cicely Hayes Clark this week. Clark, which must be Greg Clark. This week was going to bring in Cripps or Sinclair, but playing the break-even game, and Cicely more likely to go up price this week than the other two, so I can turn Cherry or Dacos to Cripper or another Primo next week. Thanks, mate. Good luck this week. Thank you very much, mate, and you too. So I like Cherry to Cripper, not Dacos to Cripper at this stage. And Cicely I like, Hayes I like. Clark, if you're going to go early, here's one to do it on. Horn Francis Hayes. Yeah, you're playing the break-even game, and I like it, buddy. Good trades, mate. Lock them in. Thanks, bud. Jack Murray, top 2K without Heaney. Is he a must-have to stay up at the top and contend? Oh, look, must-have's pretty strong, isn't it? He's close to, mate. I'm gonna actually say yes. If you're the top 2K without Heaney, I think you've got to get him in when you can, mate. When you can. And look, remember, Papley's coming back this week. Someone else is from memory as well, which hopefully will free him up for a little bit more midfield time. And remember, even as a midfielder, he's still going to rest down forward, can still impact the scoreboard, mate. So, yeah, I'd be getting him in if you could, mate. Napes, how are you, mate? Here's my team as a question. Now, Napes is just so close to me, like a point away from me for a round score, almost exactly the same. It's been crazy. So I asked him just to send through his team to see if it's like the same as mine. But it's absolutely not. I've got no Doherty, no Bowie. It's actually quite different. Green, Rao, Long, Jackson. Man, this is unreal. How on earth are we so close when we've got so many different players? This is absolutely amazing, man. Thank you very much for sending me through the side. I was expecting literally a couple of different rookies on our benches or something, but we've got some majorly different picks here, dude. I find it just mind-boggling that we're coming so close to what each other's getting from round to round. That is awesome, man. Thanks very much for sending it through. Edit with Grundy out, bringing in Gawn, Hayes, Roses for Hayes and Rochelle. Wow. Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Top stuff, dude. Top stuff, my man. Good to hear from you, Napes. We must be getting closer to the end. Geez, we're not, are we? We're not. Nah. Where were we? I'll tell you what, guys. I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be back in 2 secs. Apologies, guys. My throat was that dry. I could hardly talk anymore. And I'd just caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Completely forgot that I'd let the hair hang out, chuck the beanie on. Looking absolutely terrible here. So, and the beanie as well. It's not a Collingwood beanie. I would never, ever, under any circumstance, wear any Collingwood apparel. This is a local footy club where I coach. We're the Magpies. So, yeah, please don't think I've deserted the Lions. I've deserted my boys or anything. Absolutely not. Next one is from Angus Williams. G'day, mate. Hey, Doc. Doc, that's a new one. What is your choice between Houston and Parker? Currently done the Parker trade. Yes, I'd much prefer Parker, mate. He's got a much better premium scoring history. A lot more runs on the board than Houston. I'd much rather prefer Luke Parker, mate. Next one's from Jason Gaffey. G'day, Jace. Do you reckon Keys is a good pick? Love your work, DR. Such a good bloke. Thank you very much, Jace. So I keep on looking here because that's where the profile and the comment is. Thank you very much, Jace. I appreciate that, mate. Look, I think Keys is a good pod pick. I've just been waiting for him to have a poor game, and it just hasn't happened. He's done it under all circumstances with Laird in, out of the side, Sloan in, out of the side. he just keeps on getting the job done. You know, terrific work rate, a real professional around the club. I did mention in the stock market video this week that he's one of Billy Frampton's mentors, and a big reason why Billy's really upped his game, and he now knows what it takes to be an elite AFL player. Not that he's close to being there at the moment, but yeah, I think Keezy is an awesome pick. I know that leadership doesn't equate to points and all the rest, but work rate does. Work rate certainly does. So I don't see any reason why we can doubt Keezy anymore. Don't love his disposal efficiency, but just the fact he works so hard to get it is fantastic, mate. Thanks, Jace. Heather Tomo, g'day, Heather. Once I trade Hayes and Grundy to Oliver, I can't even read now. Other Hayes and Oliver, I just have enough coin to get Cherry up to Sicily. Should I do the Cherry Sicily trade or not? Absolutely, now that we know that Cherry is out. You've got 400 left. I tell you what, Heather, it is absolutely meant to be that trade. Go ahead with it. Next one is from Jacob Vellis. G'day, Jacob. Do you think we should move Mountains to bring in Sam Hayes? I have Grundy, Witts, and Bruce in my ruck line, so can't bring him in unless the trade one out. Well, it's not silly anymore, is it, mate? We've got to get rid of Grundy, so that is a very, very easy decision for you now, mate. Absolutely make the trade for Grundy. Patrick Connolly, g'day, Pat. Was tossing up between Brayshaw, Steele, and Oliver this week. Thoughts on which one of these three? Absolutely Oliver, mate. Absolutely Oliver at the price. Tom DeP, how are you, man? Cause for concern not being able to get Clary this week. Had to go with Brayshaw. Look, it's not major, cause for concern, I don't think. We want to have Clary on our side, and I think that this is the cheapest we're going to get him in a while. But I wouldn't be overly concerned about it, Many of us haven't had him all this year. So just because he's, had a really nice score last week, people have that in the front of minds. We forget that he got a 60-odd just a couple of weeks ago. So don't be too concerned. The fact that you got Brayshaw, that's okay. I think he's going to be a solid selection time. Shanti Valadares. This is one of those. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on here. I've seen a few of these going around. I've got a wink and a love heart. There we go. Feeling special. Oscar Payne. G'day, Oscar. What do you do if you have Grundy and Bruce and Witts in regards to Sam Hayes? You trade out Grundy and you bring in Hayes, my man. Benny Leonard. G'day, Benny. You see, Benny's obviously a member here. Appreciate that, Benny. Mate, hopefully you can get on the Skype as well, mate. I've sent through the stocky notes as well. Just let me know just to make sure that you got them in. I just want to know what to do with English and Bonner. Yeah, so Bonner's that real pod pick you got, isn't it? 2 weeks ago, I traded Butters to English. That is such bad luck, man. Now it looks like it's a horror. It is, but it's not your fault. That wasn't on the cards. You couldn't have predicted what was going to happen to English. I was so close. If I was going to trade out Cripps, I ended up keeping on him. English was going to be the man. And even the next week after that, he was going to be an upgrade in my side. So it's tough stuff, man. Bonner has a break even of 117. Mind you, I've got 25 trades, 67k in the wallet. I've also got McCartan. Also got McCartan, but I have Gipkus and DeConning my bench, so I'm in no rush to trade him out. You aren't, are you? Because you've got Gipkus, DeConning. They're both playing this week. Yep. So what to do with English and Bonner? How far away is English? I think English is still another 3 weeks away, mate. For me, it's too much money to have on the bench. It's like you could be having a premium score on your field each week in place of your worst rookie, for example. And that's what I'd be looking to do. We've got a lot of DPP in our lines this year. I think Bonner has DPP, does he? Mid-forward? I'm not too sure. Could be wrong there. Mid-forward, sorry. Defender, mid. English obviously does. So I'd be probably looking to flip one of these guys, get in maybe a Sam Hayes, for example, for an English with some DPP, and then upgrade somewhere else. So if you could turn English and Bonner into something along the lines with DPP of Clary and Sam Hayes, that would be a trade I'd look to make. If you can do it with DPP, if that works for you, mate. I'd probably need to have a look at your whole side. So if you can, mate, jump in the Skype chat tomorrow night, and we're able to share our screens and all that sort of jazz, mate. We'll all be able to give you a fair bit of advice here, Benny. But that's how I'm thinking at the moment, mate. Those two blokes are guys that I'd like to get in for you. Next one is Matzo. G'day, Matzo. Had an awful week with a 2100. Forgot to sub out Tim English. Ouch, man. JK's injury and switch McRae to captain after he got 150s last couple of weeks. Well, don't blame me for doing that, mate. That's my advice each and every week. Get him in your loop. And if you haven't got a loop, he's the safest option. So just unlucky there, buddy. And yeah, unlucky. If you're not on the ball every minute with SuperCoach, it seems, things like this could happen. So tough luck, mate. But you'll bounce back from a 2100, dude. Next one is from Aiden Peluso. G'day, Aiden. Is it fine bringing in Oliver while already owning Petrarca? Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. No problems whatsoever there. As long as you're not overdoing it on that buy, make sure you check out your buy structure. No problems whatsoever, dude. Bad Machine. G'day, Bad. Hey, DR. If I use a trade boost, can bring in Cripper and any other Uber Primo mid, Oliver or Steele, or Cripper and Primo defender. Currently have Doc Hewitt, Sis, Crisp, Short, Gipkiss. Well, you definitely don't need another Primo defender, mate. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really, really solid defenders there. So Cripper, yes. Oliver or Steele. Oliver this week, mate. Oliver this week. I'm grabbing... Oh, what have I done there? Hang on. Oh. What have I done there? Yeah, I'm grabbing both this week, mate. So I'm trying to get down to these comments now. I don't know what's going on here now. I would definitely get Oliver this week, my man. Here we are. Yep, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. We're almost done. Next one is from Jacob Vellis. G'day, Jake. Prioritise trading out Horn Francis or Rochelle. Look, I am trading out Rochelle myself. I just think Horn Francis has a bit of a better role in the midfield. He does play for North Melbourne, though. Rochelle can spike some big games. It's a real coin flip for me, mate. Look, it depends. Horn Francis is obviously at the higher price now. So if you can use that extra money this week, then maybe Horn Francis. But if you don't necessarily need that extra, what is it? Is it about 20 to 30k? Then maybe Rochelle, mate. But Rochelle does have DPP, bit of an easier swing, bit of a coin flip, mate. Next one is Fezzy T. G'day, Fezzy. Have Grundy prove some wits, so do I chop wits early for Hayes? No, you obviously do Grundy now, mate, given the fact that he's out. Good to hear from you, man. Next one is Cuz. G'day, Cuz. I'm ranked 13k, barely moving up each week. Hayes for Hayes route, freeing up some money. Yes, definitely. Upgrade Whitfield. So, look, if you really want to do it, mate, if you're set on it, that's fine. But I'm holding myself, looking at Witho because of his low break-even, cracking score. A pod, help you climb. Well, look, he'll definitely, mate, if you're looking for a pod to help you climb, Witho's your man. If that's what you're after. 100%. He is the bloke that you're looking for. You also got someone like a Jack Sinclair, but I don't think that Sinclair has the ceiling that Witherden has. So if that's the way you're looking to go, that's fine. The way that I play the game, I played a lot safer. I'd just be holding Whitfield, let alone going to Witherden. But the fact that you're looking to do this for a reason, you're making us look a big move. This is a big move. And that's fine, mate, if you want to go that way. Yeah, love the fact that you're thinking outside the box and looking to do something different, mate, in order to try to rise up the ranks a little bit. Help me climb. What are your thoughts? Also, love the videos. Thanks, man. It's my first season of SuperCoach and would have made it this far without you. Oh, appreciate that, man. And I don't know if you remember me from last week, but I decided to follow your advice and pick Sicily over Stewart. I'm thrilled with the result. Cheers for all your help. Great decision, man. Well done, well done, well done. Look, mate, I certainly do not always get it right. I think I've just mentioned it before. You get a few ones right from here to there. And hopefully you get more right than you get wrong. But look, I'm rapt, mate, that I can be helping you out in some small way. We've got a really great community here. And yeah, I'm rapt to hear that, mate. Thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to me, mate. More than you probably know. Thanks, buddy. Kepsy Max again. It isn't the same comment, is it? No, I think it's different. No, I haven't had one, Callahan. Thoughts on Hayes, Richelli, and Hoff? To Sicily, Hayes, and Callaghan. Yep, love Sicily, Hayes. Callaghan, I reckon we're overpaying for him a little bit, mate. But he's a talented type player. I know that other teams were really keen to trade up to him. So, I love Sicily and Hayes. I don't overly love Callaghan, but I could, again, be completely wrong on him. He's a talented guy. I think you can go for it if you want, mate. Next one's Obi22. Hey, DR. Hey, buddy. Thinking of going Horn Francis and Jack Hayes to Sam Hayes and I think it's Roses and make moves next week, or should I use a boost this week to get Clary in for Ward? Great vid, mate. Thanks, dude. So Horn Francis and Hayes to Sam Hayes and Roses. Yes, I like that. Or should I make a boost this week? Could you, mate? I don't know if you could. Could you go all three of Horn Francis, Hayes, and someone else out and get in Sam Hayes, Roses, and Clary? I'd use a boost if you can do that, mate. I definitely would, because I think Clary's a great buy this week. Roses is a good trade in, and the other bloke, Hayes, is a really obvious one, mate. So that's what I'd be doing, buddy. All the best luck, man. Jack, g'day, legend. G'day, Jacko. Targets Heaney or English, Oliver or track Brayshaw. Well, English is a no-go at the moment, mate, because he's injured, so Heaney. And Oliver or track or Brayshaw, Oliver. So if you go on a pair, mate, I love Heaney and Oliver, mate. Levi Wanacott. Not sure if I've pronounced that or butchered that one there, Levi, but thanks for the comment, mate. I still don't have Cripps. Is it better to get Clary or Cripps now? Can afford both. That is such a hard question, man. I'd be going Clary now because he's got the lower break even. He'll probably rise in price more than what Cripper will, if Cripper even gets to his break even. So Clary this week for me, mate. All the best luck, bud. Next one is Justin Barnes. G'day, Justin. Hey, DR, which trades Grundy, Jack Hayes, Horn Francis for 1 or 2? Oliver, Sam Hayes, Sicily. Oliver, Sam Hayes, Roses leaves me 440k in the bank. So pretty much what you're asking is, do you go Roses and have money in the bank to upgrade next week? Or do you go Sicily this week? Look, either way, mate, it depends on how you feel that you want to use your 440k next week. Have you got a particular trade target in mind? If you do, then maybe go that route. But if you're a fan of Sicily and you don't see anyone else next week that you're a huge fan of, then maybe do that. Look, if you could use that 440 and upgrade a midfield rookie to Jack Steele, for example, I'd do something like that. Again, you're really overpaying for him. It's really hard without seeing the rest of your side, mate. Either way, it's fine. But I'd maybe go number 2. Give yourself a bit of an option next week in case something happens, mate. And there's a lot of carnage at the moment, so having that extra money in the bank could be very, very handy. But just make sure as well that Roses is actually selected in the 22 because he's on the extended bench at this stage, mate. Kepsy again, hey man. Also have Roses and bringing in Hayes. What other rookie can I jump on because I need to bring one in? Sam. Oh, sorry, you got Roses and bringing in Hayes. Oh. Well, you've got Hobbs. Not a huge fan of Callaghan. Not really like Hobbs better than Callaghan at that price. Mate, check out the stocky, mate. Check out the stocky. Just skip it. Go straight to the rookie section. I'll have all the info that you need there, mate. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of too many others apart from Hayes and Roses, mate, this week. Bad Machine. Hey, Bad. Another quickie. Nobody's really talking about Mills. Am I missing something about him? No, well, I think the only concern that we've got, mate, is his potential for that Achilles to flare up again. Like, my cousin was actually an ex-AFL umpire. Great umpire. Probably very biased there, but geez, he was good. Unfortunately, had a major Achilles injury and had to retire. So he's struggled to ever be the same, particularly with his running. And it really concerns me about Mills. Look, I hope that it's all good, and it seems like it is. He's banging out a bloody 200 plus. But that's probably the one thing that's stopping some people, I think, mate. But look, do I love him as a selection? Absolutely. If I already had Jack Steele in my side, because I'm bringing in 2 primo mids this week, Oliver's like an absolute given. I'd probably bring in Mills, to be honest, because he's going to rise to 700k pretty quick. But again, he will come down because that 200 odd's going to be in his price cycle for the next week or two. Once that's out, you'll see that break even really, really get high again, mate, and he will come down a little bit at least. Next one is from Ben Malagosis. Probably butchered that one, Benny. Sorry, mate. Butters in your mid. What's that face? I don't know what the face is. No, gone. Oh, is it like a sort of, what are you doing, man? Is this like a, what are you doing, DR? You're no good type thing. I'm not too sure, Benny. But look, to explain Butters in the mid, it's the same as having Nick Martin in the mid. They're both on field, so it's just simply a matter of swapping them over, mate. So that's absolute same. No one would bat an eyelid if you had Nick Martin in there, for example. So yeah, no issues there. He's just going to move into the mid, into the forward line as one of those premiums. And no Gorn, no Gorn. I started with Gorn, and at the end of the day, I managed to split Gorn into Heaney and Witts, which I was really happy to do. So it was basically out Gorn and McGovern, and in Heaney and Witts, and I'm really happy with that decision at the end of the day, mate. But yeah, to explain that, that's sort of the method behind that, matey. Next one is Shane Urin. G'day, Shano. Hinge played in the SANFL, mate, just the 15 disposals. Heard that. Thank you very much, Shane. I appreciate that, mate. I wasn't quite sure if he did or not. Thanks, dude. Kepsy again. I reckon this is like a record for the most amount of comments from the same person in one video. I appreciate it, Kepsy. Love the chat, man. Thoughts on Hayes, Grundy, and... Oh, I've already done that. Haven't I? Yep. Maybe the comments are not in order. No, I think they're still in order. Maybe doubled up. Thanks, man. David Fox. Hope to see you Sunday. You go on Sunday, are you, mate? Fantastic, buddy. Well, look, mate, you obviously know what I look like, mate. If you got Twitter, mate, send me a DM or whatever. Yeah, love to catch up with you, man. Say good day. That would be awesome, Dave. Hope to see you there as well, man. Thanks, bub. Mitch Sagaris. G'day, Mitch. Thoughts on Keys? Yep, already given the thoughts on Keys. Yeah, a decent type pod, workhorse, being an ex-Brisbane man, absolutely love the bloke. Yeah, big man love for him. Wish him all the best success. If you want to go a pod mid, he is fine, mate. Mark O'Money. G'day, Marco. Degoe, Parker or Sard? Parker for me, mate. Degoe and then Sard. Parker and Degoe, it's really, really close. Maybe Degoe. Because Parker will be a little bit more up and down. Maybe some variation in his price. Okay, what I'd do, mate, if you can't split Degoe and Parker, which I'm actually finding a little bit hard to do as well, I would look at what your buy structure is looking like and go with the one that suits you by the best. I'm not a huge fan of Sard, though, personally. James Salamone. How are you, mate? Oliver Keys or Petrarca? Absolutely Piggy Oliver, I think there, matey. Track's obviously a lot cheaper, so if you can use it... No, Oliver. Absolutely Oliver, I think there, mate. Will Janky. G'day, Will. Hey, DR. Hey, buddy. Should I go early on Kitty for McCartan? No, I wouldn't do that, mate. I wouldn't do that. Look, Kitty, I think... For me, the reason why I was really thinking about Kitty... We're down to a couple of comments. Awesome. I think with Kitty, we were looking to start him if we were looking to go with a particular structure where we didn't really want to commit to having so many primo defenders or forwards, because he's got that DPP, depending on which way you want to go there. Look, we'll see how he goes this week. If he punches out 100 plus for some reason, then fine. But pre-season, I wasn't a big believer that Dane Zorko would be playing down back. I thought this bloke would be doing what Zorko has been doing. So whether or not that changes, it could. I don't think so, though. But given the fact that Zorko has been playing down there, my love for Kitty as a SuperCoach pick does go down a little bit, mate. So, no, I wouldn't like to do that personally, buddy. But interesting thought, man. Like that you're thinking about this stuff. Two more. Shauno. I'll tell you what, I'm ready for bed here. Shauno, ADR, thoughts on Horn Francis, Rochelle and Hayes to Hayes, Oliver, and Callahan/Roses. Love it, mate. I would be going Roses over Callahan myself. But again, make sure that he's actually named this week is in the emergencies. Hopefully he gets one of those 4 bench spots. And last one is from Zachy French. G'day, Zach. And what a one to finish on. DR, you are winning the 50k. I'll tell you what, Zacko, if I win the 50k, every one of my subscribers, we are having a big night. We're having a big night, Zach. I'd say that much, mate. Thanks for support, buddy. If only, mate. If only. I think it is a very, very much a dream. Don't think it'll ever become reality. But look, mate, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't that just be the ultimate goal? Obviously. That's it. We are absolutely done. I don't know how many comments it was. I don't know how long we've been going for. I don't know how many views the video is going to get. But I always love, I was going to say having a chat with you guys. It almost feels like I do know a lot of you guys. Look, lots of you I do chat with the DMs and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. And I've known you for a couple of years. And for some people, you know, those regulars on SuperCoach Talk, I've known you blokes for about 15 years. So, look, I absolutely love it. If you are interested in becoming a member, we do have the monthly Skype chats. The monthly ones are sort of becoming more regular than that, where we get a heap of great people on, give each other a heap of advice, heap of banter on there as well. We're just laughing and joking half the time, which is all part of the fun, isn't it, when it comes to playing SuperCoach and networking and meeting other people. So if you are interested, feel free to do that, guys. All you need to do... Oh, geez, I tell you what, the throat. I'm done. Yeah, is just press the join button there. I don't know what I'll do, and I do it. There we go. Yeah, so it's $3.99 a month. You got the loyalty badges next to your name, so we can see here that Jono and Causa are on Matty Rao. Then we go to Sam Walsh. Then we go to my man Lockie, and I tell you what, absolute legend status when you get to Lethal Lee Matthews. You can also use the custom emojis. As we've got here, monthly member videos. So there'll be videos that are purely just for the members. Only members will be able to access them. Just as another perk, you'll always get my stuff for free. This is in no way, shape or form any sort of a sellout. All of the proceeds from these memberships, $3.99 a month, go direct to Beyond Blue. So I just want to try to do something for a bit of a good cause. And for those people that were willing to do it, give them a few bonuses and a few extras. So also get the PDF copy of the weekly SuperCoach stock market vid. So you've all seen the stockies. You actually get a PDF version of that. So you can either print it out, get it on your phone, write little notes on it. I know that a few of the blokes do that. The members. And as it says there, you've got the Beyond Blue donation. So that is it for this week, guys. I am done for this week. I've done the round review. I've done the stocky. We've done the Q&A now. I stuffed up the stocky, did the separate forwards video. There was a comment there, I know, asking about the SuperCoach Swordplay podcast. Spills and I were loving getting that going last year. As I mentioned, it's just been really, really rough for time. But I know Spills would love to join me again for a podcast. And I'm sure that we will very much in the near future. So I'm tapping out, guys. Much peace. Much love. All the best of luck this week. Hopefully no more carnage, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.